Jay-Z and Pusha T's name appear in the Epstein files. This according to an article published on a site called Times Now. This article is entitled, Jay-Z, Pusha T named in Epstein files. What does 2019 FBI hotline complaint reveal? Now these are just allegations, so everything is allegedly. This video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Now of note, this allegedly happened back in 2007, but apparently it was not reported until 2019 on a hotline. So that is very suspect right there. Even though there are some people that want to go after Jay-Z, like Tony Busby, and people believe that Jay-Z has done some foul things, I really don't think that these allegations are going to go anywhere. Now, I think that it will dent his reputation for just a little bit, because I did see a post on X where they are saying that Beyonce has lost 10 million followers. This according to a post on X from the user called WriterRap. Reportedly, Beyonce had 318 million followers, and now she has 308 million followers. So, she still has a huge following on Instagram. I mean, compared to Chris Brown, he has 143 million followers, and Cardi B, she has around 164 million followers. So, Beyonce, with 308 million followers, still has a huge amount of following. Now, when she releases her next album, we will really get to see if this affects her or not. However, I did check her Instagram page, and people are really going in on Beyonce. They're going in on Beyonce for something that allegedly Jay-Z did almost 2 decades ago. How is Beyonce to blame? Appears she is receiving collateral damage for being his wife. So, according to this article, Jay-Z's name appears in newly released Epstein-related documents, but only in unverified hotline complaints. So it says that he is not in the Epstein logs or flight records. Now, I'm not sure that this happened on the island, so I don't know that his name would necessarily have to be in the flight records for that. But this is what this article said. The claims also mention Pusha T and Harvey Weinstein, but none are supported by evidence. So they're only accusations. And since this didn't go to court, I guess there is no proof that this actually happened. So it says, but none of the claims are supported by evidence, and the DOJ says many tips were false or sensational. So it says that his name appeared in a 2019 complaint submitted to an FBI hotline. 3 million pages of documents, thousands of videos, and hundreds of thousands of photos. That's what the DOJ just released in the Epstein files. But what's dominating headlines? A few unverified celebrity tips that anyone could have called in. However, because it is part of the Epstein file, people are very suspect when people are mentioned in them, considering what we now know about Epstein. The complaints against Jay-Z and Pusha T were part of a large collection of public tips the FBI received, not Epstein's own record. So, it says that Jay-Z was mentioned alongside rapper Pusha T and disgraced film producer Harvey Weinstein. And we all know that Harvey Weinstein is still locked up behind bars for allegedly essaying somebody. Or not allegedly, because he is locked up. So according to this article, Jay-Z and Pusha T do not appear in Epstein logbooks, calendars, personal contacts, or flight records. It says that their names only appear in public complaints filed to the FBI tip line. So, the DOJ said that the complaints are unverified, unproven, and often sensational claims. Of course, they have not been accused in a court of law, so everything is alleged. So let's look at the actual document that was posted by the DOJ with the release of the Epstein files, and let's read along. Of course, it is redacted, supposedly, I guess, to protect the victims. I did see a report on CNN where a victim states that some victims' names were not redacted. That is just unacceptable. How they do not redact the victims' names, but seem to often redact many of the allegedly perpetrators' names. Just a hot mess, if you ask me. Like I said, I don't think that anything is going to become of this unless somebody comes forward. Tony Busby is probably looking for them now. You know he be coming for Jay-Z. All right, so let's read what the DOJ released on this. So this document, as you can see the case number in the top left, you can see the date. I guess, it says July 10th of 2019, so that must have been the date of the actual complaint. So July 10th of 2019 at 8:20 in the morning. So the details are, it says on July 10th of 2019 at 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time. So the person's name is redacted. It says, called the FBI National Threat Operations Center, NTOC, to identify herself as a victim of SA by Jeffrey Epstein and others. She provided the following information. In approximately 1994, redacted, revealed herself to, redacted, as a past victim of SA by Epstein. Blank describes the abuse occurred during party. Father identified as a friend of blank. In approximately 1994, blank resided with blank and blank. An unknown man abducted blank from her home, where she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, who is Jay-Z. While Weinstein had inserted his fingers into blank, blank believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Now, I told you this would be disturbing, but I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of it. Blank estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an opulent indoor setting. Blank suffered from SA on multiple of these occasions. Multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. Blank recalled Leon Black and William Barr, current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of abuse. In approximately 2006, Blank last recalled being abused by Epstein. On each occasion, Blank believes she was rugged, clouding her memory. Blank attributed the rugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, whom she described as persons who established friendships with the victim. Among her handlers, Blank identified the artist Pusha T. In approximately 2007, Blank attended a party. Blank following invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down a street. Weinstein and Pusha T also attended the party and rugged her before engaging in SA. Blank claimed to have additional information of other persons involved in the enterprise and information related to racketeering conducted in support of the trafficking. Blank further believed she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of the people involved in the SA. Blank confirmed she was not diagnosed with any mental illness. Blank refused to provide her physical address, advising that she maintained no permanent address. Rather, she moved between staying at different hotels. Now, some of the stuff that she described sounds familiar. This sounds like some of the accusations that were brought forward in the Diddy case. So these are the horrendous accusations that were part of the Epstein files. So let me say this. These claims were not investigated to conclusion, as far as we can tell, have no supporting evidence, and they are not accusations that are made by the DOJ. They are solely tips submitted by members of the public. And although Pusha T might receive some backlash, Jay-Z might receive some backlash. Now, Jay-Z doesn't have an Instagram page. It seems like Beyonce is the one that is receiving backlash on her social media. I think that after a while, this will die down. I don't think that this will have any long-term effect on these two, because it looks like the person called in these claims over a hotline and they did not go in person and file these complaints. Now, there is a look-back window in some of the states where complaints can be made, but until then, it's just speculation and innuendo. Although some people might have it out for Jay-Z and Roc Nation, as well as Drake might not like Pusha T, I don't see long-term ramification coming out of this, but that's just my thoughts and opinions. It is a sad situation if this actually did happen. Although the accusations were made in 2019 in a tip to the FBI on a hotline, the accuser reported that the incidents happened as far back as 1994 to the most recent alleged occurrence of 2007, and no one has come forward to press charges as of yet, and the incidents happened almost 2 decades ago. Although many people are shocked and disgusted by these accusations, I think within a week or 2 people will be on to the next. There is just not enough evidence like there was in the Diddy case. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. Let's take a look at the backlash Beyonce and Pusha T are getting on their Instagram pages. So now we over here on Beyonce's Instagram page where she has 308 million followers. So before they are saying that she had 318 million followers. Allegedly, she has lost 10 million followers on her Instagram page. All right, so we're going to take a look at a post on her Instagram page and see what the people are saying. So this is her last post on her Instagram page from 9 weeks ago, when she posted Kelly Rowland, where she captioned it, she says, "Wishing you and your family a day of love and gratitude." Let's see what the people are saying. One person says, "Your husband." One person says, "Your husband has been named in the Epstein files along with Harvey Weinstein." Another person says, "Thoughts about your husband being in the files?" While another says, "Why is your husband in the Epstein files?" So people want to know why Jay-Z is in those Epstein files. And they seem to be taking it out on Beyonce. They are blaming Beyonce because her husband is in those files. Now, Beyonce got married to Jay-Z in 2008. This latest accusation from these files seems to be around 2007. It seems like the accusations begin around 1994, and the latest one we're on in 2007. She wasn't even married to the man yet. Now, reportedly, allegedly, she was dating him ever since around 2001, allegedly, but they weren't married. So it seems like the people are taking out what Jay-Z allegedly did, which there's no proof that he did, so everything is allegedly. They're taking it out on Beyonce. Well, they can't take it out on Jay-Z's Instagram because he doesn't have an Instagram, so I guess they say that Beyonce is the next best thing. However, I don't think this is the smoking pow-pow that will bring down Jay-Z, do you? People are probably not that shocked that Jay-Z's name was in the Epstein files, considering how he had been associated with Diddy over the years, although he claims he don't know Diddy like that. What is a shocker is that Pusha T's name was in the files. He was not on our radar for this. Although, with rappers, to be a bad boy seems to be the name of the game. We seem to praise them for not conforming, and then are shocked when they are accused of doing the unthinkable. Names that are not in the Epstein file are Diddy, Kanye, as well as Oprah. You know people have been accusing Oprah of crazy things, but she is not in the files. Although the files are heavily redacted, and this is probably not all of the files. For now, Oprah is safe. Now, we are here on Pusha T's page to see what the people are saying about Pusha T. So as you can see, he goes by King Push on Instagram. He has about 3.5 million followers. We're going to click into his latest post and see what the people are saying. So one person says, "Say Push, I hear you like them young." Another person says, "Pusha T, more like pushin' teens." Another person says, "The legendary Epstein client." So they are really going in. Someone posts a picture of Drake. I guess they're saying that Drake has some ammunition now to talk about Pusha T. This person says, "Why the F would you go to that island?" So the people are questioning, what was Pusha T doing? So he is receiving a bit of backlash on his Instagram page. Whether the accusations are true or not, being in the Epstein files is not a good look. This is what is going on with Jay-Z, Pusha T, and the Epstein files. You know, a lot of people have been speculating that Jay-Z would be next after the Diddy trail. You know, 50 Cent could not miss the opportunity to troll Jay-Z. 50 Cent seemed to be trolling. This is what he posted on his Instagram page. He says, "Darn, they got your man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this ish." All right, so he's trolling, talking about he needs to do a documentary on Jay-Z. Let's see what else he posts. Let's see what the responses are. This person says, "Beyonce looking so crazy right now." Oh no, they didn't come after Beyonce with her own song. This person said, "Please do, and beef up your security, 'cause you know Jay and Diddy like to get people gone." Another person says, 50 was waiting for this, while another person says, "Get him 50 before they both get you." Not 50 talking about doing another documentary, this time on Jay-Z. That would be crazy considering he already did one on Diddy. Not enough evidence for a documentary just yet. But looks like 50 is waiting in the cut just in case. That's it for this video, busybodies. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. This is Liz, keeping up with the biz. And I will see you in the next video.